Imagine stepping back in time, nearly 2,000 years ago, to the bustling heart of ancient Rome. A city at the peak of its power, a civilization that would shape the world for centuries to come. And at its very center, a monument so vast, so ambitious, it still takes our breath away today. This is the story of the Colosseum, Rome's eternal arena. Our journey begins in the 1st century AD, under the rule of the Flavian emperors. Emperor Vespasian, seeking to win the favor of his people and erase the memory of the tyrannical Nero, conceived of a grand project. He chose the site of Nero's opulent Golden House, draining its artificial lake to lay the foundations for the largest amphitheater the world had ever seen. It was a powerful political statement. Where a dictator's private pleasure palace once stood, a magnificent public arena would rise for the entertainment of all Romans. Construction began around 72 AD, a monumental undertaking that showcased the brilliance of Roman engineering. The sheer scale is staggering. The Colosseum stands over 157 feet tall, its elliptical shape stretching 620 feet long and 513 feet wide. It was built using an estimated 100,000 cubic meters of travertine stone, held together not by mortar, but by 300 tons of iron clamps. This massive structure was a symphony of arches, 80 on each of the first 3 levels, a design that was not only aesthetically pleasing, but also incredibly strong and efficient, allowing for the easy flow of tens of thousands of people. Think about the logistics. This wasn't just piling stones on top of each other. The Romans employed sophisticated techniques, including cranes and pulley systems powered by human and animal labor. They designed a complex system of vaulted corridors and staircases, known as vomitoria, which could allow the estimated 50,000 to 80,000 spectators to fill and empty the venue in a matter of minutes. It's a feat of crowd control that modern stadiums still admire. The seating was meticulously organized by social status. The emperor and senators had the best seats, right near the action. Above them sat the nobles, then the wealthy citizens, and so on, with the common people, the plebeians, and women in the highest tiers. After nearly a decade of construction, the Colosseum was officially inaugurated in 80 AD by Vespasian's son, Emperor Titus. The opening games were an extravagant spectacle lasting 100 days. Historical accounts tell of grand processions, gladiatorial contests, and wild animal hunts involving thousands of creatures from across the empire. It was an unforgettable celebration, cementing the Colosseum's place as the epicenter of Roman entertainment. Now, let's venture inside, onto the hallowed ground of the arena floor. The original floor was wooden, covered in sand. The Latin word for sand is arena, which is how we get the term today. The sand was there for a grimly practical reason, to soak up the blood spilled during the contests. But beneath the sandy floor lay an incredible secret, the hypogeum. This was a 2-level subterranean network of tunnels, cages, and holding pens. Imagine the scene below ground, a dark, chaotic world filled with nervous gladiators, caged lions, bears, and crocodiles. Using a complex system of elevators and trapdoors, these fighters and animals could be lifted directly into the arena, appearing as if from nowhere to the delight and astonishment of the crowd. The events held here were diverse. Of course, the most famous were the gladiatorial combats. Gladiators were typically slaves, prisoners of war, or criminals, trained in special schools to fight. They were celebrities of their time, some earning fame and even freedom. They fought in different styles, with various weapons and armor, like the retiarius with his net and trident, or the heavily armored murmillo. These weren't just chaotic brawls. They were highly organized duels with rules and referees. The fate of a defeated gladiator often rested with the crowd and the emperor. A thumb pointed up or down could mean life or death. Beyond duels, there were the venations, or wild animal hunts. Exotic beasts from Africa and the Middle East, elephants, rhinos, tigers, were brought to Rome to be hunted and killed in the arena. These hunts were a display of the empire's vast reach and its dominion over the natural world. Sometimes, the events were even more theatrical. The arena could be flooded to stage mock naval battles known as naumachii, recreating famous historical victories with real ships and fighting men. It was the ultimate form of immersive entertainment, a blockbuster movie brought to life. But the Colosseum was more than just a venue for violent spectacle. It was a reflection of Roman society. The games were a tool of political control, a way for emperors to keep the populace happy and distracted. The famous policy of bread and circuses. They reinforced the social hierarchy, with everyone in their designated place. They celebrated Roman military power and glorified the idea of death with courage and honor. It was a place where justice, or at least the Roman version of it, was seen to be done, with public executions of criminals often forming part of the day's gruesome entertainment. For nearly 4 centuries, the Colosseum hosted these events. But as the Roman Empire began to change, so did the Colosseum's role. The rise of Christianity brought a shift in public taste and morality. Gladiatorial combats were officially banned in the early 5th century, and the last animal hunts took place about a century later. The mighty arena slowly fell into disuse. Over the centuries that followed, the Colosseum suffered from neglect and natural disasters. Earthquakes in the 5th and 14th centuries caused significant damage, collapsing the entire outer wall on the south side. What was once a symbol of imperial glory became a source of building materials. Its travertine blocks and marble decorations were plundered and repurposed for new constructions across Rome, including St. Peter's Basilica. It was used as a fortress, a quarry, and even a housing complex during the Middle Ages. Yet, through it all, the Colosseum endured. By the 18th century, attitudes began to change. The papacy, recognizing its historical and cultural significance, started to protect the site, consecrating it as a memorial to the Christian martyrs believed to have died there. This marked the beginning of its preservation and its transformation from a ruin into a revered monument. Today, when you visit the Colosseum, you are walking through layers of history. You can trace the outlines of the tiered seating, stand where the emperor's box once was, and gaze down at the exposed hypogeum, imagining the incredible machinery at work beneath the surface. You can feel the weight of time in its weathered stones and see the scars left by earthquakes and quarrymen. It's a place that prompts a powerful mix of awe and sorrow. Awe at the genius of its creators, and sorrow for the human and animal suffering that unfolded within its walls. As the sun sets, casting a warm, golden light across the arches, the Colosseum seems to regain some of its ancient majesty. It stands not as a ruin, but as a powerful storyteller. It tells us about the ambition, ingenuity, and brutality of the Roman Empire. It reminds us of the power of spectacle and the complexities of human nature. It is a symbol of Rome itself, the eternal city, a testament to a civilization whose influence is still felt today, its echoes resonating through the corridors of time. The Colosseum is more than just an ancient stadium. It is a portal to another world, a tangible link to one of history's greatest empires. It continues to captivate millions of visitors each year, a timeless icon that will forever be the heart of Rome. Thank you for joining us on this journey to Rome's eternal arena. If you enjoyed this exploration of history, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more stories from our incredible past. See you next time.